Timeout.
8, Snooker McGrew. Amy Jones riding for Max Comley.
Won a Lingfield handicap on Polo Track from 54 in August 2025. Competes from 49 today, but a last of 5 here after 683 days off. That was 10 days ago, and a step forward is required here.
And the final, I'm going to look at number 2. My idea to win a Cool Glory, because Bradley Furness, the rider, used to be a professional apprentice. 4 winners in Bradley's career. He's back as an amateur after a few years off the track, and this horse, Cool Glory, is in good form, Dave.
Yeah, my idea of the winner too, James, actually. Better strike rate on the all-weather than on turf, but has been knocking on the door on grass this season, including a head defeat on fast ground at Leicester in April. Looks certain to go well today.
There's our 10 for race 1, biggest fill of the day.
Well, ahead of the first here at Salisbury, I've been joined by trainer Kieran Burke, who's just saddled up his son, Louis. How are you feeling ahead of that?
Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, he's had a few rides now, so I think he knows what he's doing now. But, yeah, no, he knows the horse very well, so he rides a lot at home.
Is it slightly different when you're saddling and giving the leg up to a son?
Definitely, yeah. You just want it all to go well. I mean, there's nothing I'd like to provide him a winner. So, yes, hopefully it could be today. But the mare's been out of form for a while now, but she's run well in this race last year, so we're hopeful.
Well, she was a close 5th in the race last year off £4 higher as well. Gives her a chance. Has this been a plan to get back here today?
I think so, yeah. I mean, we were a little bit worried about the ground being too quick, but I think they've done a good job here, so should be fine.
What would it mean?
Oh, a lot. Yeah, definitely would.
Very best of luck.
Perfect. Thank you.
I wouldn't be surprised if this horse has been primed for this race, Stacey Racy. Louis Burke had a nasty fall at Wincanton earlier in the jump season, got airlifted off. So great that Lewis is back on track. And Stacey Racy, Dave, 5th in the race a year ago. I would have liked to see more at Wolverhampton last time, to be brutally honest. That was my negative. But I imagine this race within the calendar for Lewis quite a long way out.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the case with surely these amateur riders, or many of them, James, isn't it? They're much more than many other races. The connections must have a ring round the... Yeah, exactly. You know, this is a 0 to 55, and so I agree with you. I mean, the issue with Stacey Racy is just, you know, there was a tendency to race too keenly last time, and a fair step forward is needed from that. On the plus side, certainly in terms of the balance of Stacey Racy's form, I'd say, you know, reasonably treated.
So remember, we got the 1st, 2nd, 4th and 5th from the race last year, and Amethyst, our favourite, was the winner. Freddie Tett, all that experience that Freddie's got riding internationally, that stands you in such good stead in these amateur rider races. Amethyst looks calm and composed. He's a 7-time winner, and while still 10 in a professional race would probably be quite a big negative, they do tend to be more spread out in these amateur rider races across the track, and Freddie's experience would be a huge help for last year's winner.
Absolutely. There's hardly a bigger spectrum of ability, is there, than in the amateur riders' ranks, and so when you get a good one, then you hang on to them. I saw Marcus Armitage, the 1990 Grand National winning jockey, who was certainly a very good amateur in our crowd this evening.
That's for sure.
And certainly he was worth following.
So Freddie Tett is the leading rider in this race. A rider that I was going to follow was Cool Glory's rider, Bradley Furness. He actually rode as an apprentice for a couple of seasons. He was actually riding against the professionals day in, day out. He's got a career record of 4 from 57. And again, going from riding in professional races, even if we're mostly apprentice races themselves, it's a big gulf of experience compared to young riders that haven't ridden under rules. And I just thought him claiming 5, Bradley, on Cool Glory. I know the turf record isn't quite as good, 1 from 22, but I'm just going for the experience of jockey, and he has been on good form on turf recently.
It's certainly not as good in terms of number of wins, is it? But if you look at that second at Leicester last time, 7 furlongs, quick ground, beaten by the favourite Moonhall Lass, it's certainly comparable, isn't it? And as you say, the presence of Bradley Furness, who was once in the apprentice ranks, is a definite plus here.
Yeah, there is Cool Glory. Number 2 for the very much in-form Ian Williams stable. Market does suggest that Amethyst has got a great chance of following up last year's success, 5-2. 4-1 Cool Glory. Beaujardin, who was 4th a year ago, 11-2. Marguerite, 7-1. 9 Stacey Racy, Happy at 10. Snooker McGrew, 11-1. 12 Fret Endowed, who was 2nd under Imogen Matthias last year. She owns and rides this horse. 14 Shades of May. And the one that's just caused us a few difficulties in pink colours, Mira Flores, has made her way down to post under Michael Tribe. It has just been a little bit tricky leaving the paddock. So good that Mira Flores is actually at post. So hopefully won't delay us too long, which has been a little bit tricky for the amateur rider. Of the others, Dave, we've got Marguerite, who was running in much better races than this. The handicapper initially gave her a mark of 69. She's now 55. So this is the weakest race she's running. Yeah,
that's right. Is on a declining mark. With 9 starts, 7 on turf, is one of the more lightly raced runners in this race as well. And, yeah, you can definitely make a case for Marjorie. Khadija Mellah. People will certainly recognise the name as ITV broadcaster who firstly came to our attention as the winner of the Magnolia Cup at Glorious Goodwood a few years ago.
So Beaujardin has lost his front shoe, number 5. Off 4, right-hand side. Not ideal. A front shoe is probably worse than a back shoe, Dave, because a lot of pressure goes on the front legs, especially on quick ground. And Beaujardin himself, if it was soft ground, I'd really fancy him today. He loves a bit of cut in the ground. They found it at Lingfield 2 starts ago. Arabella knows this horse quite well, rode him last year, has ridden him on a few occasions, but yeah, not ideal to lose a shoe on the way to the start.
No, certainly the ground does look on the quick side for Beaujardin as well, James. You know, you look at the turf wins, 3 of them on soft, 1 on heavy. Obviously, it's quick ground tonight, and that might be a touch on the lively side.
runners starting to go forward into the stalls. Amethyst, pretty solid in the market, our clear 9-4 favourite. I do think the experience of Freddie Tett on last year's winner is going to be a big plus. Margot, you've mentioned just going forward. Of the others, Dave, was there anything else that caught your eye, potentially at a price?
I thought that... I thought Endowed was interesting. Obviously, was narrowly beaten in this last year. A very different build-up. Came here on a hat-trick 12 months ago, and a different story this time around. Just one start. That was the last of 6 at Brighton. But I thought that in terms of the run in this race last year, that Endowed was probably worth a second look.
There is money for Snooker McGrew. Let's go and join Richard Hoyles, our commentator here at Salisbury.
Runners moving forward. All in for this Highclere Castle Horsefeeds Carnarvon amateur jockeys. Handicap over 7 furlongs. And fairly long hold. And they're off. Racing then over 7 furlongs, and awkward from the stalls was Mira Flores, who was a bit awkward in the preliminaries as well. So as they settle down, red and green colours on the running rail of Snooker McGrew. Also prominent is Beau Jardine, and between the pair, the nose-banded Stacey Racy. Cool Glory sits in 4th with Happier. They're being followed through by Marjorie, and on the running rail, Shades of May. Towards the back early on, we have last year's winner Amethyst with Endowed, and last of all is Mira Flores. So through the first quarter mile, on the running rail, Snooker McGrew with the keen Shades of May right on the fence. Reading out, Marjorie's made a little bit of ground, races on the inside of Stacey Racy in the white cheek pieces and Beau Jardine. Second half of the field made up of Happier from Call Glory. Amethyst just pushed along to improve up the centre. Then Endowed ridden patiently. And Mira Flores just stumbled slightly there as Beau Jardine leads them past halfway. So it's Beau Jardine in the yellow sleeves, Stacey Racy white cheek pieces, far side, and ridden along now is Snooker McGrew. Just behind the leaders, changing course, is Call Glory. Amethyst steady ground down the outside. So it's Beau Jardine with 2 furlongs to go. Call Glory and Amethyst both make their efforts towards the centre of the racecourse. Then Shades of May. A furlong to go. Amethyst striped sleeves and Call Glory are the first 2. They have it by 2 lengths from Shades of May in third, who continues to stay on. Amethyst, Call Glory still trying to join in is Shades of May going for the line. Amethyst narrowly from Call Glory and Shades of May. Amethyst drifting right-handed, but just does enough from Call Glory. Shades of May was across the line in third place as they all moved over towards that far rail.
Like a year ago, Amethyst is your winner of the Amateur Riders race here at Salisbury. Well done to Freddie Tett, owner David Armory and trainer Patrick Chamins. Back in second, Cool Glory. Third, Shades of May. But Amethyst has carried Cool Glory a fair way across the track. They certainly made their move in the centre. 9-4 favourite from stall 10. Off the bridle, a long way out, Dave. Freddie was working hard, probably from 4 furlongs out, to be brutally honest. We can see here, Freddie's hard at work, Cool Glory travelling better, but he has dragged Ian Williams' horse across the track. Yeah, he has. He looked one of the first horses in trouble there, truth be told. We mentioned beforehand about the very broad spectrum that we have of ability among the Corinthians ranks. Freddie Tett, the most experienced, the most decorated rider in this race, and he's had to work pretty hard, whipping the left hand there, going across towards that stands rail. Amethyst taking Cool Glory with him. Shades of May was staying on towards the far side. From the gates, Mira Flores was a little bit slow from stall 2. That one had given difficulties for jockey Michael Try from the prelims. Strong pace set by the Richard Cook Bridger stablemate Beau Jardine, like he normally does. And you would say the pace is probably a little bit strong, Dave, bearing in mind our first, second and third are certainly mid-pack. Yeah, that's right. Well, you know, even from you mentioned from an early stage, Amethyst, even there you can just see Freddie Tett just sort of chivying the horse into the bridle. In the green, Snooker McGrew towards the far side is disputing it, probably with Beau Jardine, who will get the overall lead in the yellow and blue.
Just on the outside there, alongside the first past the post Amethyst, is Cool Glory, and just on their inside towards the far rail is Shades of May. So the podium horses have all raced mid-pack there, haven't they? Shades of May looks to be going well at this point,
stuck in
not
her pocket,
like Amethyst.
Shades of May. I wonder how much that interrupted her run. She's run a cracker back on turf. Eyes were drawn to the two market leaders now. Head-on will be interesting. Bradley Furness, whether he can't use a stick in the left hand because Amethyst is leaning on him throughout. There's certainly intimidation. Whether there's contact remains to be seen. And that winning margin, unfortunately, it does appear to be a nose, is that the magic winning distance for any results to be overturned. It looks like it's about half a length, Dave, and normally the result will stand if that's the case. Yeah,
that's one of my bugbears, that the stipulation of a nose or a short head, imploring the stewards to take a close look. I say it doesn't matter what the margin of victory is. Look at the interference and what the cost is. But as you say, under the current rules, it looks as though this would be unlikely to change. I'm not sure, truth be told, whether Bradley Furness didn't pick his stick up because he was being leaned on, or just because he thought it prudent to use hand and heels.
Yeah, and on the inside there, Shades of May just squeezed up on the line. Freddie Tat, though, on your winner. Amethyst, loads of experience. Here's Freddie. I'll say rode this horse to success a year ago, and ultimately his first past the post. No stewards called here at Salisbury, Nick. But Amethyst, Freddie Tat, they're a good combination of these amateur rider races, and so it proved there today.